Hello guys and welcome back to episode 9 of Let's Play Oblivion. We are currently helping out
We must get out of this place.
who's been lost in the dream world. The next test we're going to perform is the test of perception. So we're going to equip our torch and try to avoid these traps. We didn't do too great on that one. Okay, so instead of jumping on there, we're gonna jump over here. Alright, here's... Okay, we gotta activate these. And try not to let them fall on us. Okay, we accidentally activated another trap. We gotta be careful of these pressure plates. And the test of perception is finished. We found the element of perception.
We must get out of this place.
Okay, so the next one is down here. We are going to take the test of courage. So for this one, we're going to unequip our torch. Loot this, take the weak potion of the sea. And then we're going to drink it. That way we have water breathing. Because we're going to need it. This is a long passage underwater. We get another one. Though I don't think we're going to need that one per se. No. And we just found the element of courage.
We must get out of this place.
There is one more. The test of resolve. For this one we're going to take the leather armor and the short sword. We do not have access to our magic, but it's okay. We still gotta bring these minotaurs down. There you have it. The test of resolve is finished. Now we can grab the element of resolve.
Please.
Now we need
Help
to speak to Hinatir.
I feel as though I'll be trapped here forever. And I don't even know why.
Hinatir, you're in the dream world.
But how? What you say must be the truth. I feel strange. I can see now what you were saying was no story at all, but the truth. And I'm a fool. I had no idea that the amulet could hold such power over me. I set out to create a way to conquer my failings, but it seems the tables had turned, and they conquered me. I don't know how you did it, but I thank you. Now, we must wake from the stream and take our places in the real world again. Farewell.
Farewell, Hinatir. Okay, we need to re-equip our equipment. Actually, it was the leather, wasn't it? Oh, right. I forgot to go sell after. I might have to re-hotkey everything,
It's
too.
good to see you in the real world. I'm indebted to you for rescuing me from my nightmare. I suppose thanks are only a small token of my appreciation. Allow me to reward you for your bravery. I'm afraid I don't have much in the way of coin, but allow me to present you with something that may help in your travels.
Oh, thank you.
Farewell.
Okay, so let's go over to that. Oh, bound boots. Yeah, we'll learn that. And searing flare. Okay, make sure we've already read that. Yep.
Friend.
Hey, he gave us a new spell.
Good company.
And that should have been the end of that one. I believe that finishes off Bruma for now. Or Breville, I mean. From here, we're going to go to Leowen. I try to do the cities in order. Starting from Anvil, going to Breville, Leowen, Cheydinhal. Now, where I deviate from there, I'll go from Cheydinhal to Coral to Bruma. Because one of the quests in Bruma requires a certain reputation. And mine is currently 36. Let me check something on that one quest. Okay. Actually, before we go and just jump to Leowen, yeah, I think we are going to go to just do the cities in alphabetical order. Go to Bruma. That's the new plan. Deviate from my regular circle. Okay. The first quest, we're going to have to enter a house up here. For there has been a murder.
You're going to have to leave. This is a crime scene, and no one other than ourselves, our Reynald Draelus, will be allowed access.
Reynald Draelus.
The culprit in this crime has already been dealt with. It's just a matter of wrapping up the details. I'd tell you more, but frankly, I don't know who.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So you're wanting me to persuade you.
Thank you. For me, thanks.
Okay, so you like to be admired, you hate jokes. Okay. Jokes and... Okay.
Please, I'm embarrassed. What a not fun. You're wasting your breath. That for me, every little bit helps.
There we
See.
go. What about now?
I suppose there's no harm in telling you what happened. Word is bound to get around Bruma anyway. Turns out that Braden Lyrian is a vampire. Or was. If it wasn't for Rainiel Draelis, we may never have uncovered the truth. Let me explain. In the last week or so, we've found 2 bodies stashed in shallow graves outside the city walls. The bodies had puncture wounds on their necks. The bodies were those of some beggars who used to wander the streets looking for handouts. The vampire probably thought no one would miss them. Luckily for us, Rainiel arrived in town. He said he was a vampire hunter, so we asked for his help. He tracked the vampire to this house. When he entered the place around noon, Braden was sleeping. He was able to slay him at that point. Luckily, Braden's wife wasn't home. Poor thing. She didn't even know her husband was infected. We did a follow-up investigation, and it's true that no one recollects seeing Braden out in the daylight. He's only been spotted at night. I'm afraid there's not much more to tell you, so you can see we really don't need any help, but thanks for the offer.
I think there's more going on here than what your evidence suggests. I don't think I'm gonna get anything else from the guard captain here.
They shouldn't give you too much trouble.
I want to talk to
I can't
her.
believe this is happening. Please, please, I need your help. My husband was no vampire. It's ridiculous. No one will listen to me.
Please calm down. I want to help.
Forgive me. I loved my husband dearly, and to lose him this way makes no sense. Anything you can do to help would be wonderful. This is all happening so fast.
Tell me what happened.
I came home only just a few hours ago. I found the door open and my Braden dead. Standing over him was a Dunmer. I screamed and ran out into the street. Some city watch were nearby and heard me, I suppose, as they arrived quickly. I heard the Dunmer identify himself as Rainiel Draelis. He said he was a vampire hunter and that Braden was his mark. The guards seemed to know about Rainiel, and after a search of the house, the body of some beggar was found stashed in our basement. The guards sent for Carriers, who is an investigator for crimes here in Bruma. In minutes, Rainiel convinced Carriers that Braden was a vampire.
The evidence looks bad for Braden.
Well, of course it does. It was obviously planted here. Why would he stash a body in his own house? That's ridiculous. And another thing. The guards are making a big deal out of no one seeing Braden out in the daylight. Well, of course that's the case. He works at night and has to sleep during the day. Why does that make him a vampire? It's all that Rainiel character. I don't trust him. The thing that bothers me the most is that I swear I've seen him before. Of course, he says he's never been here. Look, there isn't much more to say. Please, help me clear my husband's name.
Okay, you make a lot of good points, lady. I'll investigate
I know
further.
I sound desperate, but I know I'm right.
So, any new revelations in your investigation?
Yeah.
Keep up the...
I'm going to investigate further.
Well met.
Need the key.
Hello. What can I do for you?
Interesting.
Yes? Well,
50?
What?
60?
Every...
70?
For me? Thanks.
Okay, so you hate admire. You like coercion.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
don't
Your
like
path.
boast
I'm
or
not buying.
admire.
Yes, yeah. See, you're good.
What about Reynolds?
Reynolds staying in the last room down the hall upstairs. Here's the key. I always liked Braden and Arlene. They were a nice couple. I hope you get to the bottom of this, because I don't believe he was a vampire either.
I will. Thank you for your cooperation. Ah, I got stuck behind the door. I've entered Raynell's room. I should carefully search the place for anything suspicious. The 8th day has passed, and still there's no sign of the artifact. We've covered most of the remainder of the outer guard tower, and scoured the crumbling gatehouse ruins, but not one clue has arisen as to where it may have been buried. It's quiet out here, as if the ruins were paying respects to the alien inhabitants that disappeared here long ago. We haven't encountered anything hostile, but if we do, I think we're ready. The Brotherhood's been in worse scrapes before. Braden paid good money for the information as to our treasure's whereabouts. And I hope it doesn't turn out to be yet another fiasco. This morning our camp was set upon by some bandits who were protecting what they claim was their territory. Considering that we were outnumbered 3-1, we did very well. Only Raynell suffered a small wound, but that was easily healed by a potion that Braden had. Thoughtfully brought with him on our expedition. After getting rid of the bandits' corpses, we set out to track the largest part of the ruins. The remains of the Great Keep. 2 of the walls of one mighty structure were collapsed, scattering the telltale whitish rock, so typical of the alien architecture in this part of Tamriel. This made our assault on the ruins difficult, as many of the large chunks of wall were far too heavy for us to move. Braden suggested that we search the center of the building's foundation for any underground entrances, which was typical for this type of keep. His guess paid off, and after several hours of breathtaking work, we managed to clear an opening just large enough for us to squeeze through and enter an ancient stairwell leading down into the ground. We decided to wait until morning's light to begin our descent into the depths of the ruin. After a restless sleep, all of us were quite excited at the prospect of what might lie ahead. Eagerly, we dipped our torches in a fresh container of pitch, lit them, and entered the inky blackness of the stairwell. The stale air was choked with dust and fine grit, a sign that no one had entered this portion of the ruins in a very long time. We became excited, as that meant no other tomb robbers had gotten there before us. The stairwell eventually leveled out into a corridor of sorts that snaked its way to the north. As we carefully walked along, I scanned the floor and walls very carefully for any type of triggers, tripwires, or pressure plates. Such was my speciality. The Iliad were well known for their cunning traps, protecting their tombs, and I wasn't taking any chances. Braden, the scholar of the Brotherhood, was getting more and more excited as we traversed the passage. He was translating the wall carvings, and was becoming certain that we had finally found the true location of our prize. After walking for several more minutes, we were overjoyed to see what we were hoping to see. The hall ended at a metal door with a carving of a spider upon it. Now came the true test of Braden's information. The door supposedly had a puzzle lock. By pulling the spider's legs in a certain combination, it would unlatch. The wrong combination would spell our deaths, perhaps triggering a collapse of the hallway or some other eventually deadly trap. With a shaky hand, I pulled the legs one by one in the order I had memorized. The sixth one, then the first one, then the second one, then the eighth one, then finally the first again. I closed my eyes as there were a few loud clicks, and then the door popped open. We all breathed a sigh of relief. Pushing open the door, I looked in at a huge room with a pedestal at the center. Sitting on the pedestal, illuminated by a shaft of sunlight from a tiny hole in the ceiling, was our prize. The floor was covered in a huge mosaic of a stylized spider, all 8 of its legs coming to a point and ending up at the door. At the door entrance. This was the last of the traps the aliens left behind to protect their treasure again. If it hadn't been for Braden's skill at acquiring information, we may never have known how to solve this last line of defense. I instructed Braden and Raynal to remain at the entrance and to tie a rope around my waist in case of a sudden pitfall. Carefully, I began to walk on the darkened tiles that formed the third leg of the spider. Sweat beaded on my forehead as the pathway made by the tiny pieces of ceramic was very narrow at the start. And one slip could again mean instant death. But death never arrived. The information had been correct, and I was able to make it to the pedestal and secure the artifact. Quickly as possible, we made our way back out into the daylight. Once again, the Brotherhood was triumphant, and it was time to return home. At the tavern that night, we decided to make a pact. We would stash the artifact in a cave not far from Bruma until we researched it further. An item of its magnitude could be very dangerous if mishandled, and we certainly didn't want to sell it without understanding its true value. Braden agreed to contact a local cooper to construct a chest with 3 locks. Each of us would hold a key to one of the locks, so none would have access to the artifact without the others being present. For the rest of the evening, we drank merrily and sang many a song of adventures past and adventures to come.
Did you know that Bump Gragash will train you to
Very
use heavy
interesting.
armor, but only if you're a Fighters Guild member? What can I do for you today?
Have you heard of a Geliborn?
Geliborn? That's odd that you should mention that name. Raynal told me that he was the last vampire he hunted. Yeah, that's right. Somewhere in Skingrad, I believe. He said he tracked Gelborn down and killed him. That's apparently why the guards trust him so readily. They had gotten word from Skingrad's City Watch about Raynal and his so-called accomplishment. Just look for me if you need anything else.
I need to speak to the watch captain immediately.
Good day. I'm Tolgan, herald to Countess Narina Carvane here in Bruma. She requests your company at your earliest convenience.
What's this regarding?
Countess Carvane would prefer if you speak to her in person. She also said to present you with this stipend as a taste of things to come. My lady holds court from 8 in the morning until 6 in the evening each day. That would be the best time to see her.
Okay.
Safe journey, my lord.
Once I get to the bottom of this conspiracy, I'll go see the Countess. Captain?
So, any new revelations in your investigation?
Yeah, actually. You heard of Galaborn?
How do you know about that? Oh, too many people don't know how to keep quiet about official matters. Very well. The Skingrad City Watch informed us that Galaborn was killed by Raynor not too long ago. Galaborn was a vampire as well, obviously.
I disagree.
What do you mean, you disagree? That's a bold statement. What proof do you have that Galaborn was not a vampire?
I have Galaborn's journal.
I don't know what to say. It all makes perfect sense now. Why else would Raynor have removed this journal from the crime scene in Skingrad? I heard no mention of a key either. It must have been removed by Raynor from Braden's body before we arrived. To think that 2 innocent men were killed, and that I'm responsible for one of their deaths, I'm speechless. I will rouse the guard and begin a search for him in the city. Meet me at Olev's Tap and Tack in 1 hour.
Will do. If I would have went into the basement of this house, we would have seen the dead beggar in their basement, but I think he's been removed at this point. Okay, so we gotta meet the guard captain here in 1 hour. So we're just going to wait 1 hour instead of actually... There
How do you do?
Just before I arrived here, I received a report from one of our scouts watching the roads. Raynor was spotted heading west out of Bruma. The scout tried to follow, but lost him in the mountains. The only cave to the west that comes close to the one described in Galaborn's journal is Boreal Stone Cave. That must be where he's headed. You must get there before he acquires whatever artifact is being kept there and makes his escape. I'm keeping the city guard in Bruma, as Raynor doesn't know we're after him. If he sees a guard, he may panic and run. You're my only hope at the moment. Please, you have my authorization to do everything you can to bring him to justice. If he won't surrender, I think you know what to do. Hurry. I fear you have a day at the most to stop him.
Great.
Roma has
Heading to Boreal Stone Cave. Okay, I believe if I exit out this side of the city over here, I'll be pointed close to where Boreal Stone Cave is. We may actually encounter a bandit or two on our way here. I usually do. Yep. Ah, nothing of interest. There's a deer. I believe that's an Imperial Scout. Yeah. Let's head on to Boreal Stone Cave. We should be nearing it.
This is the part
Oh.
where you fall down and bleed to death.
I'll take your arrows. Thank you. How much weight can I carry at this point? Oh, not enough to carry that bow. Should be just ahead. We've got... Oh, wait, it says I found it. Wait, it did say that I found it, right? Yeah, the entrance should be around here. There it is. I've arrived at Boreal Stone Cave.
Congratulations. I had a feeling you would catch on sooner or later. Leaving that journal behind was a stupid mistake on my part. I saw you enter Olav's Tap and Tack before I could get there, and I knew that I had to sneak out of Bruma somehow. It was only a matter of time before you or Carius figured it out. No matter. After I've killed you, I won't need my vampire hunter ruse any longer.
Really? You will not surrender then?
Certainly not. I'm surprised Carius didn't send the entire city watch up here. But then I would have seen that coming, I suppose. I expected to lay low for a while and then be on my way. So again, I underestimated you. This leaves me with little choice. Either I fight you now and have a chance at freedom, or I surrender and rot in a city dungeon. I prefer the chance for freedom.
Okay. This is your last chance.
Yes, I suppose it is. Well then, we've talked enough. Only one of us will walk out of here alive this day. Good luck.
And that is me, the grand champion of the arena. Oh, it's a steel claymore. I will take the 3 keys and the gold. Now I can open the chest and take the amulet. Okay, let's head back to Bruma.
I see from your expression that you were successful.
Raynald Draelis.
I can't wait to get my hands on Raynald. He'll become very familiar with Bruma's dungeons, or the end of my blade if he doesn't come peacefully.
Yeah.
Raynald will pay for both crimes. Gelliborn was likely enough.
Okay, I think the one is Brayden.
If all you say is true, Raynald will answer for Brayden's death.
Okay. So I might
Please
need to go talk to Brayden's wife before I talk to the captain of the guard. Hey.
What news do you bring?
I found this mundane amulet.
Long ago, I made a promise to Brayden. I promised to never reveal to anyone what I'm about to reveal to you now. However, because you've avenged his unjust death, I feel that Brayden would understand why I'm breaking that pact. Brayden told me about this amulet when they first brought it home from whatever distant land it came from. He never really trusted anyone else in the group, and before he secured the treasure in that cave, he had a special enchantment placed upon it. The magic masks the true identity of the item. All it takes is a simple command word, and the amulet would be restored to its true state.
Did the word die with Braden?
No. He always feared this day would come. He left me knowledge of that word in the event that he died, and I came into possession of the keys. If the other members of Braden's group were still alive, and I on my deathbed, only then would I pass the knowledge on to them. If you'd give me that amulet, I would like to show you what you've recovered.
Certainly, here it is.
Thank you. I will now speak the word Brotherhood. Here is the amulet back. It's as beautiful as it was the day I remember seeing it long ago. I want you to keep it, as I have no use for this anymore. I'm certain that's what I want, and I'm certain that's what Braden would want. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope that the amulet helps keep you safe on whatever roads you may travel.
Thank you.
Justice has been done.
Now, let's go see if the guard captain has anything else to say.
Always a pleasure. Excuse me, I'm on duty. Although we can't go back and undo what's been done, I feel justice has been served and Braden's soul may rest with ease.
What about Gelliborn?
In your absence, I dispatched a runner to Skingrad to let them know they needed to clear Gelliborn's name for the record books. Like Braden, I think he deserves to have his name clear of wrongdoing.
And Reynold Draelis.
You did what had to be done. There should be no regrets or doubts in your mind about it. Reynold was an evil Dunmer, and he deserved that fate. Have you ever considered a job in law enforcement?
Why'd you laugh? And with that, I'm going to end this episode here. See you in the next one, guys. Bye.